Welcome to the Oregon Horse Center's 2015 Fall Clinics. My name is Jolynn Hoover and I'll be your judge today. Okay, I like how this rider approached. I'd like to see her position her mule just a little bit closer to that rock before she switches around to the other side. That's going to be a little bit of a reach for her. We'll see how that goes when she goes to get on. I'd like her to bump her mule's face up so that martingale isn't dragging on the ground as she's positioning it, just in case the mule stepped forward and stepped on it. Well, that worked out just fine, and that mule stood nice and quiet, waiting for the rider to get herself into position. And I'd like to see her just turn and look, get some forward flow. We'll give her a score of an 8 on the mount. I like the choice of setup that this rider chose. I would like to see her strive to get a little bit better positioning. This choice of setup would have allowed her to have a smooth entrance. Just her positioning was a little bit off. Okay, and we'll give this rider a score of a 6. And that was with all the bobbles on the entrance. Okay, I'd like her to strive for that pole being right in position the minute that she stops, so she doesn't have to take any adjusting steps forwards and backwards. I'd like to see her get her shoulders back and use her off leg to get that forward motion. So that pole, for as long as this mule is, that pole should be right underneath her pelvis. And where she's positioning it at right now, it's too far forward, which is why that mule keeps stepping back. Now we'll give her a score of a 3 on that. She's chosen to bypass this water box. That will give her a score of a 0. I'd like to see this rider just shrug that all off and get herself straight so she can handle that plank as best as that mule can. A little bit rushy, a little bobble there. And I'd give her a score of a 5. I'd like to see this rider do some exhaling, get herself slowed down, and look to the left where she's going to exit that bridge. That mule needs some direction from her to go left. A little rushy there. We'll give her a score of a 5. Okay, now if this rider would look beyond, just like she did, good job. She can see her way. A little bit of some rushing there on the back side. Whether she's bothered from anything on there, I'm not sure. I'll give her a score of a 5 on the hill. 7 on the ditch. I like to see how she's getting herself regrouped, getting straight to make this plank. Like to see her look towards the end of that plank, just plan her exit, plan her entry. Even though it's a little bit fast, if she gets looking ahead of time, she can help her mule a little bit more. I'm going to give her a score of an 8 on the plank, a 0 on the bog. Okay, I like how this rider planned her approach so that her knee ended up right at the rope when she stopped. I'd like to see her take the time to get the coils of that rope positioned in her hand a little bit better. A little bit of stepping to the left, pulling that log straight to the left a little bit before she started her turn would have prevented that from happening. There she goes. I like to see her put those reins all in one hand and not have the rope
Our next
in with her
is
rein.
number 105, Tobias Farrow, or Toby.
It's a little bit of rope
Shown
handling
along by Rosewood,
practice
Oregon.
would help this all line out and flow with a little bit more finesse.
That this horse is for sale. He is 11-year-old quarter horse, Missouri Foxtrot gelding. He's had lots of
Okay,
trail.
all in all,
Some
of the rope handling things and the hook on both ends. I'm going to give her a score of a 5 on the rope. I'd like to see this rider just take the time just to get herself back together, exhale, focus on what she has to do next. That's going to help her mule get a little bit slower when she can feel her rider slowing down a little bit. Okay. Nice stop and back. Nice balance and rebalance on the downhill side. A little bit of brushing there up into that hill. I'm going to backtrack to the bridge. I'm going to give her a score of an 8 on the bridge. I'd like to see this rider use her legs a little bit more so she doesn't have to oversteer the face. I'm going to give her a score of a 5 on the hill. Nice confident entrance into the pond. Little bit of rushing out, not bad. I'll give her a score of an 8 on the water. Okay, again, I like how this rider positioned herself to stop confidently right by the hide. That shows me she trusts her mule and her mule is being real brave. I'd like to see her look forward and not look down at her mule's head. If she would raise her gaze and look forward, that mule would walk right forward. A lot of the stall outs in forward motion are rider induced. Thank you. I'll give her a score of an 8 on the hide.